Welcome back to News Channel 3's Live at 9 on this Thursday morning. Question for you.
Okay.
Has your mom or your grandmother or any older relative ever friended you on Facebook? I got a friend request from my mom.
It's happening. I know what you're talking about. And of course, here on CBS and News Channel 3, there's a new comedy, Bleep, my dad says, with William Shatner. That's based on the crazy things one real-life father posts on Twitter.
Older Americans are surfing the web in record numbers. In fact, age 74 and up, the fastest growing online demographic.
Terri Murphy with the Women's Wisdom Network is here to talk about this brand new trend. Terri, always glad to have you back here.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, as you know, Terri Murphy Communications is the over umbrella, and so it's just so amazing to me how the demographics are changing about how people are getting information.
So what do you think's brought about this change? Because you would naturally almost assume, even though you shouldn't, that older folks would say, this tech stuff, this Facebook, the Twitter, I don't want to have anything to do with it.
Well, interestingly, with 500 million people on Facebook a day, the biggest group that is quadrupled has been 74 plus.
Wow.
Quadruple.
Quadruple?
Now think about that.
Wow.
That's a lot.
That is a lot.
And part of the reason is email, as you know, there's so much junk, and there's, there's the difficulty of hooking up. They can go right to Facebook, to their account, and they can converse with people. They can connect with people they hadn't been able to connect with for years. They're able to circumvent email and just get right to the point. And if you think about it, that's a lot more simple. It's a lot more direct. And it's giving them connection, which is giving them a lot of fun.
Yeah, you know, it's funny because my mom originally signed up for Facebook because people were putting pictures on Facebook that she wasn't going to see otherwise.
Exactly.
So she really felt more connected to the family once she could, get into that with us.
Well, not only that, but think about the fact that computers are more ubiquitous. They're in libraries and they're at cyber cafes and whatever. But it's the grandchildren and it's women particular, just edging over men in that particular age group, connecting with their grandchildren, looking at pictures, watching videos. It's just exciting that there is a new way for them to stay relevant and informed.
It is a different world these days, Terri. What about some other categories? I mean, things like online banking, for example, because a lot of folks, at first, no matter what your age, a lot of people were leery about actually having a banking account, online. But nowadays, almost everybody's doing it.
Well, the Pew Report, which I have brought to you, this is from Generations. This just came out in December. Catherine Zyhart did it. And one of the things that I thought was so interesting is what that particular generation. Now, you have to understand there's enough of us boomers where we've been separated into young and old boomers. Doesn't make me feel too good about that. But, what's surprising to me is the verticals between millennials and what we call the silent generation, which you think would be total opposites. But anyway, for instance, health, 85% of millennials will search, but 85% of older boomers will as well.
Wow.
And 76% for silent, all the way up to 59% for what we call the GI, which is 74 plus.
Okay.
Product search. I mean, you would think that millennials will buy everything online. 68%, 69% for the silent generation.
Amazing.
And banking. Now that freaked me out a little bit because I don't know about you, but can you remember your passwords?
Passwords.
Most of us don't, no.
62% of millennials and 56% of older boomers. So it's growing. Even 44% of silent, which I think is amazing.
That is amazing. Now, what about when it comes to older folks also trying to find their news these days? Are we going online? Are we still kind of sticking with traditional media?
I will tell you, across the board, it is about the same. The only difference is that they will go to both national and local news and weather online, but the older generation still likes to get that newspaper. About 70% would like to have one.
Yeah.
But everybody else is going to this.
There's some people who don't. What do you have there in your hand?
Well, this is my iPad. Notice it's Christmas red.
And I think it's hard to miss it.
And I don't work for Apple or anything, but the fun part about this is you can actually read it.
Right.
So if you are, using email, I don't know about you, but texting, as you know, is huge as email goes down. And the problem with that is that trying to text on a little, it's hard to see. But iPads are doing very well because it's so much easier, it's lighter, you don't have to be in one place. And we're finding that wirelessly, there were some really interesting statistics about wireless, that 6 in 10 Americans are on broadband, And interestingly enough, 55% are younger boomers, 46 older, and 33% silent. And I think that's really fabulous.
What about blogging? You know, I was hearing that a few years ago, a lot of people got involved in blogging and started their own blog sites. Maybe some older people as well who were at home and not doing as much anymore. Is that something that we're still seeing, or is that going down a bit?
Actually, blogging has gone down in millennials. And I think the reason for that is that Facebook, the automatic postings are kind of taking over. You have to understand that there's a lot of societal changes. Millennials are very used to getting heard right now because they had cell phones and they had text, where a senior would have to go in and literally write. And the problem with blogging is that it takes a commitment, and you have to build community, and you're looking for the kinds of ways to connect with people. So I think blogging is, because it's more of a conscious publishing, where Facebook and Twitter are not. And you're seeing a lot more people still want to be heard, but not in a profound kind of way, more in an instantaneous.
So Terri, any advice for older folks when it comes to social media, when it comes to this changing technology? Should we all try it? Should we be kind of cautious a little bit, or just say, hey, let's just check it out?
Well, first of all, I applaud anybody that understands that it's here to stay. It's not for kids, and that's clear. With the evolution of Facebook going to custom web page portals, where we're literally seeing business being developed on Facebook. But in closing, I would say identity theft protection. There are smart cards. There's a brand new one out for managing passwords. Checking that. Get involved, but don't put anything online that you don't want somebody else to see. I mean, quite frankly, that's kind of dangerous. But you know what? If you have a problem or you're concerned, call someone that understands the internet. Check it out before you get in trouble, but go for it.
In that case, I'll be giving you a call, Terri, as always.
Thanks.
Glad to have you back here on the show.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas to you.
Grazie.
All right. We are going to take, and there's the information about Terri right there on the screen. Be sure to check her out. Go to her website.